Welcome to this explosive edition of entertainment news where the worlds of soul, funk, and powerhouse vocals collide in the most unexpected way imaginable. Imagine the bright lights of a bustling daytime talk show studio in Los Angeles, the air humming with anticipation as the audience settles into their seats, buzzing about the legendary guest who's about to grace the stage. It's none other than Chaka Khan, the undisputed queen of funk, with her signature bold curls, that radiant smile that could light up the darkest night, and a voice that's echoed through decades of hits like I'm Every Woman and Ain't Nobody, tracks that have defined generations and inspired countless artists, including today's host, Jennifer Hudson. Fresh off her own storied journey from American Idol heartbreak to Oscar gold and EGOT dreams, has built her show into a haven for heartfelt conversations, surprise performances, and feel-good moments that leave viewers reaching for the tissues or dancing in their living rooms. But on this fateful afternoon in mid-September 2025, what started as a tribute to musical sisterhood spiraled into a moment of raw, unfiltered tension that has social media ablaze and fans picking sides faster than you can say respect. Picture this: the band strikes up a funky groove, the crowd erupts in cheers as Chaka, at 72 years young, struts out in a vibrant ensemble that screams unapologetic style. Think flowing kaftan in jewel tones, layered necklaces that jingle like percussion, and heels that click with the confidence of someone who's sold over 70 million records worldwide. Jennifer, ever the gracious host in her tailored blazer and those statement earrings that catch the light just right, rises to embrace her, the two women sharing a hug that feels like the passing of a torch from one diva to the next. The audience, a mix of die-hard soul enthusiasts, younger fans discovering the legends through TikTok remixes, and curious daytime viewers sipping their coffee, lean in as the cameras roll, capturing every sparkle in Chaka's eyes and every warm inflection in Jennifer's voice. "Chaka Khan, welcome to the show," Jennifer exclaims, her tone laced with genuine admiration. "You've been slaying the game since before I was even a twinkle in my mama's eye. Tell us, what's the secret to that timeless fire?" Chaka laughs, a deep, throaty sound that fills the room, settling into the plush guest chair with the ease of royalty claiming her throne. As the conversation flows, they reminisce about shared influence as Aretha Franklin's unyielding spirit, the electrifying pulse of Rufus in its heyday, and how Jennifer's powerhouse rendition of And I Am Telling You I'm Not Going In Dreamgirls owed a nod to Chaka's emotive delivery in her own anthems. It's all love, all inspiration, with clips playing on the monitors behind them, archival footage of Chaka belting out Tell Me Something Good at peak 70s glamour, intercut with Jennifer's triumphant Tony performance, the crowd eating it up with applause that seems endless. But beneath the surface bullish, there's a subtle undercurrent, a generational whisper that's about to roar into a storm. You see, Chaka's no stranger to speaking her truth. She's the woman who once called out Patti LaBelle in a viral moment years back, and now, with the wisdom of experience and perhaps a touch of protectiveness over her legacy, she's eyeing this up-and-comer with a mix of pride and scrutiny. Jennifer, for her part, is riding high on her show's third season, fresh ratings boosts from celebrity confessions and viral sing-alongs, but she's always been one to push boundaries, asking those probing questions that peel back the layers. As the segment hits its stride, Jennifer pivots to a segment she's dubbed Diva Downloads, where guests share quick-fire wisdom on everything from vocal warm-ups to handling industry shade. "Chaka, quick one, who's the one artist today that you hear and think, yeah, they're carrying the torch right?" Jennifer asks, her eyes sparkling with curiosity. Chaka pauses, her manicured fingers tapping the armrest, the room holding its collective breath. "Well, honey," she begins, her voice dropping into that signature husky timbre, "I've heard some fire out there, but let's be real, too many folks remixing the classics without paying homage to the roots. It's like they're dancing in our shoes but forgetting to lace them up." The audience chuckles, sensing the edge, but Jennifer presses on, eager to connect. "I feel that. Like, when I covered your Through the Fire, I wanted to honor that pain and power. Did I get it right?" It's an innocent probe, born of admiration, but Chaka's expression shifts, her brow furrowing just a touch as she leans forward. "Child, you sang it pretty, I'll give you that, but singing it and living it, that's a whole other verse. We paved these roads with blood, sweat, and notes that came from the gut, not just the Grammy committee. The words land like a bass drop, the laughter in the room turning awkward, a few coughs echoing from the back rows. Jennifer blinks, her smile faltering for a split second before she recovers with a nod. Absolutely, and that's why we're here to learn from the queens who built it all. But the seed is planted, the air thickening with unspoken histories, the battles Chaka fought against record labels that tried to box her in, the personal demons she's slain publicly, versus Jennifer's meteoric rise that's often painted as fairy tale perfect, glossing over the losses like her family's tragedy. As the band cues a soft transition, the host suggests a duet tease, but Chaka's not quite ready to harmonize. Instead, she launches into a story about her early days, the grit of Chicago streets where Rufus was born, in basements and back rooms, not polished studios. "We didn't have platforms like this back then," Chaka says, gesturing broadly. "No viral clips to boost you overnight. You earned it note by note, rejection by rejection." Jennifer listens intently, but there's a spark in her eye now, a defender's instinct kicking in. "True, but today's game moves faster. It's about evolving the sound while respecting the foundation, right?" The exchange dances on the knife's edge, polite on the surface but laced with the weight of two eras clashing. Fans in the audience exchange glances, phones subtly angling for discreet footage, unaware that this polite sparring is the prelude to the fireworks about to explode. And just like that, the stage is set for the altercation that would redefine respect in real time, leaving us all wondering, when legends meet, is it collaboration or collision? As the commercial break looms, the tension simmers, promising the return that's anything but feel good. Stay tuned, because what happens next will have you replaying this moment for weeks, dissecting every word, every glance, in the grand theater of music's enduring drama. And we're back, folks, with the energy in this studio now crackling like static before a thunderstorm, the kind that makes your skin prickle and your heart race with equal parts thrill and trepidation. Jennifer Hudson, ever the pro, steers the ship with a seamless segue, her voice steady as she introduces a pre-recorded clip of Chaka's latest track, a soulful remake that's climbing the indie charts and reminding everyone why she's still got that magic touch after all these years. The video plays, Chaka in a sun-drenched studio, her voice soaring over horns and basslines that nod to her Rufus roots, lyrics about resilience and reinvention hitting harder than ever in this post-pandemic world where artists are reclaiming their narratives left and right. The crowd applauds as it fades out, Jennifer beaming. "That right there, fire." "Chaka, you're not just surviving the industry, you're schooling it." Chaka nods graciously, but there's a tightness in her shoulders, a subtle shift that the cameras catch in high definition for all the world to parse later on YouTube breakdowns. As they dive deeper, the talk turns to mentorship, a topic Jennifer loves, drawing from her own days under Whitney Houston's wing during the Dreamgirls run. "You've mentored so many, Mary J. Jill Scott. What advice would you give a young singer stepping into these big shoes today?" Jennifer asks, leaning in with that earnest gaze that's won her millions of fans. Chaka exhales slowly, her rings glinting under the lights as she chooses her words. "Advice? First, listen more than you speak. The mic ain't the only thing that amplifies you, it's the stories behind the songs, the ones that don't make the liner notes. And second, don't let the shine blind you to the shadows and the execs who smile while they scheme, the opportunities that chain you down." It's wisdom wrapped in warning, delivered with the gravitas of someone who's navigated label wars, addiction recoveries, and comebacks that could fill a memoir. Jennifer absorbs it, nodding vigorously. "Preach." "I remember early on, folks saying just sing, don't speak up, but I learned from the best like you to own every damn note and narrative." Here's where the pivot happens, subtle at first, like a chord change you don't notice until the key shifts entirely. Chaka tilts her head, her eyes narrowing playfully but pointedly. "Own it, honey. Owning it means knowing when to walk away, not just posing for the gram with the award." "I've seen too many next big things fizzle because they chase the cloud over the craft." The audience murmurs, a ripple of agreement from the older set, intrigue from the younger. Jennifer, sensing the barb perhaps aimed at the insta-fame generation she partially embodies, counters with grace but grit. "Oh, absolutely, But sometimes that cloud opens doors for the craft to shine brighter. Like my show here, it's not just talk, it's lifting up voices that might not get heard otherwise. Chaka chuckles, but it's low, almost skeptical. Lifting up, or cashing in on the legends to boost your brand? I've been lifted up in interviews before, only to see my story twisted for clicks. The room inhales sharply. This isn't abstract anymore, it's personal. The subtext screaming about guest spots that feel more like cameos in someone else's highlight reel. Jennifer's smile holds, but her eyes flash with that Southside Chicago fire. Twisted. Chaka, this is real talk. No scripts, just two sisters sharing truths. If it feels off, say it straight. And there it is, the invitation to the fray, tossed like a gauntlet trapped in velvet. Chaka rises to it, uncrossing her legs and leaning forward, her voice dropping to that intimate register that once hushed arenas. Straight? All right, let's get straight then. I've watched you, Jennifer. A beautiful voice, big heart, but there's a hustle in your step that reminds me of the girls I came up with who got chewed up by the machine. You're booking legends like me to sprinkle fairy dust on your set, but are you really listening? Or just curating content for the algorithm? The accusation hangs heavy, the band silent, the audience frozen in a mix of shock and voyeuristic glee. Jennifer's composure cracks just a hair, her hand gesturing emphatically. Fairy dust? This ain't no sideshow, it's celebration. You've paved the way, yes, but dismissing the evolution? That's like saying my covers disrespect the original when their homage is born of love. The back and forth escalates, words flying like ad-libs in a heated jam session. Chaka decrying the manufactured moments of modern TV. Jennifer defending the democratization of fame through platforms like hers. Voices rising in pitch and volume, gestures animating the air at Chaka's emphatic points. Jennifer's open-palmed pleas, whispers turn to gasps as a producer hovers offstage, walkie-talkie crackling, but the women are locked in, egos and eras battling for dominance. You think this is easy? Chaka snaps, I earned my crown in dives, not deals, and I'm earning mine by bridging the gap you built. Jennifer retorts, her voice breaking with passion. The climax builds as Chaka stands abruptly, chair scraping like a record scratch, her face a mask of frustration and finality. Bridge? You're toll boothing it, darling. I'm done being the exhibit. With that, she turns on her heel, the caftan swirling like a cape, striding toward the wings as the crowd erupts in a cacophony of oohs and murmurs. Jennifer calls after her, Chaka, we're not done. But the queen is gone, leaving a stunned host and a studio reeling from the raw authenticity of it all. Cut to commercial, but the damage is done, the clip already leaking via sneaky audience posts. Hashtags like #ChakaVsJhud exploding across X and Instagram, fans dissecting loyalties in real time. As the red light blinks off for that frantic break, chaos reigns behind the scenes in a whirlwind of hurried whispers and frantic calls, producers scrambling like stagehands in a farce, while the audience buzzes with the electric hum of having witnessed something unscripted, unpolished, the kind of television gold that's rarer than a flawless steak. Back in the control booth, monitors flicker with frozen frames of Chaka's exit, her silhouette vanishing into the shadows, and Jennifer, still seated, takes a deep breath, fanning herself with a cue card as her team rushes in with water and words of reassurance. You good, Jay? Her head writer asks, but she waves it off with a wry smile. Girl, that was realer than rehearsal. Let's lean in when we come back. Meanwhile, in the green room turned storm shelter, Chaka's entourage circles her like protective sentinels, her manager on the phone with publicists, spinning the narrative before it spins out of control. It wasn't a walkout, it was a statement to Chaka standing on business, but deep down, the queen of funk feels the weight, a cocktail of indication and vulnerability, knowing her candor could spark discourse or division in an industry that's quick to cancel but slow to contextualize. Out in the world, the internet ignites faster than dry tinder within minutes. Shaky self-videos hit TikTok, racking up views in the hundreds of thousands, comments flooding in like a digital tidal wave. Chaka said what she's the old heads stay winning. Thy clashes with J. Hud was keeping it 100, respect the new guard. Superscript A celebrities chime in to Mary J. Blige dropping a cryptic legend speak truths, Listen up on her story. While Lizzo posts a meme of Chaka's strut captioned "Exit stage left like a boss," news outlets pounce. Headlines screaming Chaka Khan storms off Jennifer Hudson set in epic diva clash. With embedded clips that loop the heated exchange endlessly, fueling think pieces on generational beefs from Mariah vs. Nicki to now this soulful showdown. Back on set, as the countdown resumes, 5, 4, 3. A Jennifer reclaims the mic with poise, her laugh disarming the tension like a reset button. Phew, y'all, that was some real sister talk right there. Chaka Khan, unfiltered and fierce as ever. Let's give it up for her energy. Scattered applause builds to a wave, the crowd rewarding the honesty even as confusion lingers. She pivots masterfully to a lighter bit, surprising a superfan in the front row with tickets to Chaka's upcoming tour. A nod to the legend without dwelling on the drama, but the undercurrent persists. The empty guest chair like a ghost at the feast. Post-show, the real fallout unfolds in press rooms and private jets. Chaka, en route to her next gig in Vegas, texts her inner circle, "I didn't mean to eclipse the love, but damn if I wasn't speaking for all of us Augs." Jennifer, rapping with her band, The Trap Gospel, confides in a producer, "She's right about the hustle. It got me reflecting on how we honor without exploiting." By evening, statements drop. Chaka's rep frames it as a passionate dialogue on legacy, no hard feelings. Expect a collab down the line? While Jennifer's team echoes unity, grateful for Chaka's truth. Conversations like this fuel growth, but skeptics smell PR Polish, pointing to the 2022 appearance where they bonded over fashion and Prince anecdotes, wondering if the sequel sours the original. Social media morphs into a forum for deeper divisive threads unpacking Chaka's history of calling out Erykah Badu for sampling without soul or her shade toward modern R&B's auto-tuner alliance, juxtaposed with Jennifer's advocacy for emerging black voices through her foundation. Fans create montages, side-by-side vocals of their covers, polls asking who won the clapback, with Chaka edging out at 58%. Late-night hosts Palancia Jimmy Fallon recreating the walk-off with Questlove as Chaka, earning groans and giggles while podcasts dissect the psychology. Is this gatekeeping or guardianship? The ripple extends to music streams. Chaka's catalog surges 300%. I'm Every Woman hitting top spots on Spotify's viral charts. Jennifer's show clips amassing millions, turning mishap into metric magic. Yet amid the metrics, there's melancholy, a reminder that behind the beef, these women share scars. Chaka's battles with bipolar and substance, Jennifer's grief over her nephew's loss, both rising as beacons for resilience. As night falls over Hollywood, industry insiders whisper of potential olive branch as a joint interview on a neutral ground like Oprah's couch, or better, a studio session where words turn to harmonies. For now, though, the altercation stands as a testament to the fire that forges icons, a heated moment that humanizes the divine, leaving us all a little wiser about the cost of crowns. And in the quiet after the storm, perhaps that's the real weakness, sparking talks that bridge divides rather than burn them down, one diva declaration at a time. Diving deeper into the backstory that fueled this fiery exchange, let's rewind the reel to the intertwined paths of two women whose journeys through music's treacherous terrain read like parallel verses in an epic ballad of triumph and turmoil. Chaka Khan, born Yvette Marie Stevens in 1953 amid the civil rights ferment of Southside Chicago, was a child of the movement, her early activism with the Black Panthers sharpening a worldview that would infuse her art with unyielding authenticity. By 13, she was singing in groups like the Babysitters, her voice a raw force that caught Rufus founder Kevin Murphy's ear, leading to the band's formation in 1969, a multicultural funk collective that shattered norms with their debut album in 1973, produced by none other than Stevie Wonder. Hits like You Gotta Love and Tell Me Something Good catapulted her to stardom, but success came with strings, label pressures to feminize her image, internal band drifts, and the siren call of excess that would later culminate in a 2000s intervention. Yet Chaka's resilience shone through solo albums like 1978's Chaka, birthing I'm Every Woman, a feminist anthem Whitney Houston later immortalized, and her 10 Grammys stand as testaments to a career that's weathered divorces, custody fights, and health scares, always rebounding with albums like 2020's Cheeky Hello Happiness. Jennifer Hudson, 2 generations removed, entered the fray in 2004 via American Idol's 3rd season. Her elimination at 7th place a gut punch that birthed a phoenix. Cast as Effie in Dreamgirls, she snatched an Oscar for Best Supporting Actress in 2007. Her and I Am Telling You a vocal earthquake that echoed Chaka's emotive depth. From there, it's been a whirlwind of platinum albums, a Tony for The Color Purple revival, an Emmy for her arena residency, inching toward EGOT while balancing motherhood and her Weight Watchers ambassadorship. But beneath the accolades, shadows lurk. The 2008 murder of her mother, brother, and nephew in a family feud gone fatal, a trauma she's channeled into advocacy via the Jennifer Hudson Foundation, mentoring Chicago youth in arts and anti-violence programs. Their worlds first overlapped in earnest during Chaka's 2022 guest spot on The Jennifer Hudson Show, a love fist where they geeked over 70s fashion. The Chaka's platform boots versus Jennifer's bedazzled gowns and swap tales of turning down roles, like Chaka nixing The Color Purple for Spielberg to focus on Rufus. That chemistry hinted at mutual respect, Chaka dubbing Jennifer a force like the gals from my era. But fast forward to 2025, and the industry's evolution has widened the generational gulf. Chaka's spoken candidly about modern music's pitfalls: auto-tune as a crutch, streaming royalties as theft, TikTok dances diluting discography as of views that align with her 2023 Rock Roll Hall of Fame induction speech railing against sampling without soul. Jennifer, conversely, embraces the new wave, collaborating with Ariana Grande on her 2025 single Soul Sync, a track blending trap beats with gospel swells, and using her platform to platform rising stars like Coco Jones, arguing in interviews that evolution honors the roots by growing them. This philosophical fork likely simmered into the altercation, Chaka viewing Jennifer's show as emblematic of content over craft, a venue where legends like herself become set dressing for viral metrics, while Jennifer sees it as extension of her mentorship ethos, democratizing access in an era where algorithms decide airplay. External pressures amplified the spark. Chaka's recent tour cancellations due to vocal strain, fueling frustrations over young voices getting the shine without the grind. Jennifer's show facing ratings dips amid late-night shakeups, pushing bolder bookings. Insiders whisper of pre-taping jitters to Chaka arriving with a list of no-go topics like her feuds, Jennifer aiming to keep it current with legacy questions. When the segment hit that torch-carrying query, it wasn't random. It echoed Chaka's recent ex-rant about remix culture erasing originators, a post Jennifer had liked publicly, perhaps intending flattery but landing as challenge. The ensuing debate wasn't malice but mirror Chaka projecting her scars onto Jennifer's ascent, Jennifer defending her authenticity against perceived dismissal. Post-incident analyzes flood forums, Vulture's piece Diva Dynamics, when mentors become mirrors posits it's less beef than breakthrough, citing similar clashes like Diana Ross and Michael Jackson's awkward 80s interviews. Spotify playlist Submergia Chaka vs. Jhud, the soundtrack and juxtaposing Ain't Nobody with Spotlight, while Black Twitter threads unpack racial layers, both women navigating whitewashed industries. Chaka's 70s funk fighting disco dilution, Jennifer's post-idol path dodging angry black woman tropes. Their shared Chicago roots add poignancy. Chaka's West Side grit versus Jennifer's Englewood heart HS, making the clash feel like family feud, heated but rooted in love. As reconciliatory murmurs grow, a joint panel at the upcoming Soul Train Awards? This altercation underscores music's timeless tension, progress versus preservation, innovation versus integrity. In the end, their stories aren't rivals but refrains, echoing that I'm every woman ethos of flaws, fire, and Allah, reminding us that true legends don't just perform, they provoke, they persist, they prevail.